Welcome to a new episode of the Shoegazing podcast with me, Jesper Ingvaldsson of shoegazing.com, one of the leading blogs in the world on quality shoes. With this episode, we are back in Japan again, back in Tokyo, where I met Takashi Horiguchi, or Gucci as he is mostly called, who run the acclaimed vintage classic men's shoe store Super 8 Shoes. It's a store that focuses on American and also British shoes from the 1950s to 1980s, known for the overall very good condition of the selection they offer and quite a large amount of new old stock, old shoes that are unworn. The store also has a nice repair workshop. During the 15 plus years that Gucci has worked with vintage shoes, he's been extremely dedicated in acquiring knowledge about old shoes, which he now passes on to his customers, both in his physical store and online. Much of the stock in the store comes from numerous trips to mainly the US, where he's been hunting for good vintage shoes himself for many years. We talk about his journey with Super 8 shoes, about how vintage footwear differ from the shoes made today, how the interest in vintage men's shoes has developed, and much more. So enjoy your listen. All right, Gucci of Super 8 Shoes, welcome to the Shoegazing podcast.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I was very surprised to DM from you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. We're in your lovely, small but packed shop with full of vintage shoes from floor to roof. Yeah,
okay.
It's a lot of nice shoes in here for sure.
Welcome to my shop. Yeah.
It's cool.
Okay.
And good area as well. Very
yes,
central.
very good. Yes. So between the Harajuku and Shinjuku, very noisy place, but this Sendaga area is very quiet.
Yeah. Nice place. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't had time to look at too much shoes, but we'll do that after the interview. Then I'm gonna browse around more. Mm-hmm. But first, let's talk some vintage shoes. So, how did your journey in the shoe world begin?
Okay, so I had two reasons. I was looking for a new item for my new business around 2008 when I left a used clothing company.
Okay, you worked with vintage clothes.
Yes, for 13 years. Mm-hmm. And I was a little tired of clothing business. Mm-hmm. And then my friend told me vintage dress shoes started to become popular in market at the time. But I didn't understand what he said. Mm-hmm. I asked him, what's kind of shoes? Mm-hmm. The dress shoes.
Yeah.
I asked him, what kind of shoes? We wear black leather shoes when entrance ceremony of school or something. So I understand. That's black leather wingtip loafer. I got some pairs 10 years ago. The memory came back to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I wear kind of street casual style, vintage and sneaker or boots at that time.
Yeah.
So I couldn't imagine that dress shoes right away. Mm. At the time, available used shoes are boots like Red Wing and mountain boots like Danner and the cowboy boots and Dr. Martin and sneaker on vintage market in Japan.
Yeah. But so not that much dress shoes, classic shoes.
Yes. Yeah. So I feel dress shoes were so fresh item on the market. So that means no one has categorized them in the market. Talking to Japan.
Yeah.
I thought it might be able to gain an advantage, and it was very important thing for me.
Yeah, you wanted a business sort of a gap in the market, so to speak.
Yeah. Another one is import duties on new leather products material in Japan. You know?
Yeah, it's very high.
Very high.
Lower from the EU, but still high from most countries. Yeah.
Yes. So we have to pay higher, which 60% of purchase or 4,800 yen per pair. It's mean 33 or 34 US dollar.
Yeah.
I have import license for leather shoes, so it's getting cheaper, but still high.
Yeah.
In Japanese market, import brand name shoes like Alden, Church's, Edward Green, John Robb is high price for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So basically, we Japanese have image of import shoes is so high. But about used shoes duties is acceptable rates.
So it's lower
yes, very low.
rates for used items.
Yes, around 5 point something, 6% or less.
Yeah.
Original used shoes price in US were not so high.
Yeah, exactly.
So used shoes. So the customer, it's easy to compare new price and used shoes. That I think it's worth it, like a business opportunity.
Yeah.
So there are two reasons why I started vintage shoes selling.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you opened the store in 2009, the Super H store. Can you sort of describe it for those who don't know about it?
Okay. From 2009 to 2015, I've sold vintage shoes through our online store only.
You have only an online store?
Yeah, online store. Around 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So since 2015, I have also set up a repair workplace and opened this physical store. Originally, I buy those vintage shoes from US by myself.
Yeah.
And most of those shoes here are made in United States.
Yeah.
Another are English shoes and Super shoes, original one made in China. And, my shop is very small. So there is no space to put bad condition up. Yeah.
But do you have like extra storage space apart from the store?
Yeah. I have storage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we also sell vintage shoes and do shoe repair. This is Super shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you repair shoes as well. It's a repair workshop.
Yeah.
And sort of roughly, how many pairs of shoes do you have at the moment?
Around 400.
400,
yeah. 450 pairs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
And is it constantly growing, or do you keep it at that level?
Keep this number.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to accumulate kind of
exactly.
Good one. Good condition, good size for Japanese.
And would you say that you sort of stand out in any way compared to other? Because nowadays it's more also others who sell vintage classic shoes in Japan.
Yeah.
Would you say you separate yourself in any way?
Yeah. In the beginning, I had no knowledge of the shoes. I told you I don't have understanding of the shoes. So. But I had a customer and the shoe repair worker teach me about the construction and the material. I'm doing a lot of research, the shoemaker history by myself. So I believe I have more knowledge now.
Yeah.
And so we do repair service, I told you. Of course, I can advise shoe history, style, and some details, as well as how to repair and care of them.
Yeah.
Not often, but sometimes customer bring the shoes, vintage shoes, to put on half rubber. Those are from another vintage shoe store.
I see.
And when I check the condition, the sole needed to be replaced, not half rubber.
I see.
This is unlucky for the customer.
Yeah.
So I believe a salesperson was sold those shoes without kind of knowledge. He focused just on style and size.
Yeah.
So
the knowledge is sort of your USP. You can say that. The special.
Yes. So I can give them qualified advice. So I figure it's difference between them and us.
Exactly. And has the interest and knowledge about vintage men's shoes changed since you started?
Before 2020 is going to the up.
Yeah.
The number, but after 2020, so
after pandemic.
Yes, going down.
Going down, yeah. It's sort of like the dress shoe market in general.
Yes.
Yeah. So this sort of follows that sort of thing. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And how is the interest from international customers, would you say?
Not so many, but I don't care so far now.
Because you have the web shop still, but it's only in Japanese.
Domestic,
right?
local.
But do you ship internationally? If
sometime.
So people can order if they find something that's of interest. Because I recommend people to check out Super 8 Shoes web shop.
All right.
It's very lots of shoe goodies.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. And so how do you source the shoes? What's the process there?
Okay, so before pandemic, I go to the United States for buying every 2 months.
Every 2 months?
Yeah.
Really?
I went to so many places. Thrift store.
Yeah, thrift stores.
Right? Yeah. In the antique store, vintage store, and my dealer's house, and also old shoe store.
Yeah. But so you don't only went to like specialists, you went to regular antique stores and thrift shops.
And
so it really like hunting.
Hunting, yes. Treasure hunting.
Treasure hunting, exactly.
I drove about 4,000 or 4,500 miles for 2 weeks.
So did you go to different areas?
Different area.
Nice.
Yeah. So
for how many years did you do this every other month?
Beginning, 2009.
Yeah. And up until 2020.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So a lot of American travel then.
Yes. Very, looking back, it was very valuable time.
Yeah.
So it was very exciting time.
Yeah, exactly. But how often was it that you, when you entered like a thrift store or those places, that you actually found something? You must have been to many places where you just, nothing.
Yeah, sometimes nothing, sometimes one pair.
Yeah.
And next store, it takes 1 hour or 1.5 hours, but only one pair.
Yeah.
And next one is nothing. And the next 2 pairs.
Yes.
Like that. It's very difficult to accumulate the Japanese size and good condition.
Yes. So, but you did it for many years.
Yeah.
So that's why you where you built up the main supply that you have now, so to speak.
Yeah, that's right.
But then after the pandemic, has it changed?
Big changed. Since pandemic, I didn't go there and just send email to my dealer and ship them to Tokyo. And also I focus on domestic buying because, exchange rate, the Japanese yen is
dollar is very high now.
Yes, too weak. It's bad for me. So it's better to getting from domestic.
Yeah. But do you do it in a similar way, that you go to like regular thrift stores, or do you where do you source the shoes domestically?
I went to a wholesaler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And some customer and also collectors.
Yeah. And that's what you have one partner in the US that you work with, like a wholesale agent that specializes in vintage issues. Yeah. I see. Cool. But so it's harder nowadays for you to source good shoes.
It's definitely getting harder than before.
Yeah. Okay, if we start talking about the vintage shoes themselves, so to speak, if you generalize, which decade were the best factory-made shoes done? Would you say the quality welted men's shoes?
It's a very difficult question, and I guess it depends on the person's experience.
Yeah.
I can't choose which is the best. So I don't have many chance to take a look 1920s,
yeah, that's a very
10,
old,
30s, 40s. So
so most of your shoes are from the 50s and
yes,
later?
60s, 70s. Yeah. The 60s also very difficult to hard to find. Also 50s too old. So, but I think the 50s and 60s very good quality. Yeah.
And when did you see sort of a decline in quality in general?
Early 70s, 73 or 4. So going down.
Yeah.
So it's oil crisis.
Yeah, I see.
That's the reason.
Yeah, okay.
I guess.
And you noticed this on the quality of the shoes, yeah?
Yeah. Everything changed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They started making shortcuts to keep prices.
Yes.
So quality less important than price.
Yes.
And that, I guess that's also when the sourcing from China and the cheaper manufacturing regions started for shoes and for a lot of goods. So not surprised, but yeah. So do you have sort of a favorite company that you think makes the best? Like you say, I mean, it's subjective who makes the best shoes, but do you have a favorite for yourself? Who made the best? Which company?
In my experience, the Frosheim and the Johnson Murphy.
Yeah.
Those two makers so nice. Yeah.
From like 70s, 60s?
No,
60s.
The Frosheim, the Imperial quality, early 60s.
Early 60s, yeah.
Yes, and Johnson Murphy, handmade line in 1950s. Those two pair is the best.
In what way would you say?
Very good material, and it takes time for make shoes. The before 70s, and also the Imperial quality is a high-end line on the Frosheim, and also Johnson Murphy handmade line is a high-end line. So
they were very. They took time, very like the premium ones. Elaborated work with them. It's sort of sad that both those companies, they still exist, but it's very different. Johnston and Murphy and Frosheim today is very different to what it was.
Yes.
So if we go even more pinpoint things, what pair that you've had in the store or still have has been the sort of most special for you, would you say? Do you have any example?
Yeah, this one is very special shoes. Yeah, Hanover LB Shepherd.
I see, Hanover,
Hanover.
Also American classic.
Late 60s.
And so I can explain, it's sort of like a Very interesting style. It's a derby with like apron, but the apron goes all the way back like a Balmoral line, so to speak, and split toe. And it seems to have this, like, I think you call it grained leather, where they've rolled really nice calf leather, black, and storm welt with. But this is double soles. This is a new old stock.
Yeah.
So how often do you find like new old stock good shoes nowadays?
These shoes very special. So first shoes I've selling there 13 years. This is the best. First one pair. But dead stock, it's some collector have a dead stock. So not regularly, very special. Dead stock.
How would you say that factory made welted shoes of today differ from those that you describe as the best ones before the 70s or before the mid 70s?
I'm not shoemaker or repair worker, and I have never worked in a shoe factory, but I'm just shoe seller. So I'm in no position to say that, but I guess the materials and time spent production, it's difference.
It's when you look at a lot of the shoes here, like you say, material looks super nice still, even if they're old, but also it's so much neater and cleaner made everything. It's like you say, time goes to pay. You have to pay really high prices to get that sort of attention to details that you see on these shoes. Sort of the everyday shoe, every man's shoes were made the same standard as the absolute premium factory made ones today. It's sort of for me, it looks sort of like that. That it's so much cleaner the manufacturing. And you say that the material was better. How would you say that it changed? What's your experience there?
So also this is very difficult question. For example, when vintage shoe lover talk about good leather materials on the vintage shoes, we call the mochi mochi.
Mochi mochi.
Not moshi moshi.
Not moshi moshi.
Not moshi moshi. Mochi mochi.
Okay.
Moshi moshi means we Japanese when we do phone call. Moshi moshi.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is mochi mochi means we use for food like a noodle. So it means not dry.
I see.
Supple. Moist leather. And fine wrinkles. So we call it mochi mochi. This is mochi mochi. Okay, this is very good leather.
And on this black Hanover shoe, really mochi mochi leather.
Yes. So I can say that, it's very difficult about material.
So more supple and fine, and you see it on the grain structure. Very, very fine. So what do you think about the American shoes today?
We don't have a lot of choices. Only Alden and Aaron Edmonds. Alden is good. Quality is okay. Style is okay. American Trot, dress casual. Usable to our coordinate. And I feel there are difference in the material and small details between old and new. But acceptable. But I don't know the price now.
Yeah, what is it? $600, $700 or something like that. More, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Now in Japan.
In Japan, yes, exactly, more. Yeah.
So also our Edmonds was bought out a few years ago. So I don't know that quality. But before early 2000, Allen Edmonds was very, very good quality and fitting. So vintage Allen Edmonds so special. So my customer and the vintage shoe lover really want to take Allen Edmonds vintage.
And is it the same there that it's from early 70s and back that Allen Edmonds was?
Edmonds also Olden is one quality produced for a long time.
So they continued longer.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Frosham is a high-end and regular line, but Frosham and Olden is one quality. So the 50s, okay, very good. 60s also good. 70s, 80s, 90s, each year are very good. So before 2000.
I see. Yeah. You mentioned it that you also have a sort of repair shop and work a lot with restoring old leather shoes, both of course the ones that you source and sell, but also for customers who bring in their own stuff. How difficult is it to work with these old shoes? I'm not shoe repair worker, but when replacing top lift or vintage shoes, take off the top lift and next lift is rusty and rotten. Is it common? Yeah. And the next lift also. And also insole, it's the nail hole is getting bigger. So we have to do 3 more process. Not only top lift. You have to change the whole heel, basically. Yes. Also, it takes time to fix the insole hole. So it takes time. So this is vintage shoe repair. It takes time and more careful work. How about restoring the uppers if it's dry and cracked and stuff like that? This is a very difficult. Sometimes crack, so we do stitching. You do that, yeah. And sometimes put on a leather and a Charles patch. Yeah. So only 2 way to do the upper. And when it's only like dried out, is it only like conditioning or any special tricks? So we don't have no special, so just conditioner. Yeah. And any advice you can give to people who own or find old pairs that they want to sort of revive? I can say go to repair shop with trust and love. Yeah. So, or DM or phone call to us anytime. But it's better to not try to do too much yourself. If it needs more proper work, it's better to go to a specialist. Yeah. What's your view on sanding down cracks and restoring the surface on smooth leather shoes? What do you think about that? I guess it depends on the position. If it is around bump here, leather is going to be break because it's getting thinner. So depends on what the person wants to do of those shoes. Yeah. So I don't know the way is good or not. Yeah. Depends. We would say. Yeah. All right, cool. And sort of, if you look into the future, where do you see the world of vintage men's shoes go in the future?
Naturally, I think those words will get smaller.
Yeah.
But I think what we call vintage shoes will change for future.
Yeah.
So the world of vintage shoes will go on. Like, shoes goes on. Yeah.
So in the future, also shoes from the 90s.
90s and also 2000s. 2010.
Yeah, exactly.
2020.
Yeah.
So now many people complained kind of leather. The price is high.
Yeah.
But next 10 years, 20 years, so those, the shoes they complained one is going to vintage. Yeah. Wow, 2020, very good leather.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It will always be, feels like it's a constant
Yes.
motion that you look back at previous times and, remember how good the leather was in 2020s.
Yes, makes sense.
But you feel that the vintage classic men's shoes interest, it's sort of getting more smaller niche group than before?
Yeah.
But are you sort of nervous for the business, or you think it's still solid going forward?
Yeah, still doing the selling and also I want to make a original new one.
New ones, yeah. Production in Japan or America?
I think Japan is better.
Yeah.
Very high skill.
Yeah. All right, cool. So you have some new projects in the
near future. I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully. Cool. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Gucci of Super 8 Shoes. Thank you very much for
thank you very much.
being part of the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So can I shout out to my customer
for
in
sure.
Japanese?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So 皆さん、シューゲイジング .com のポッドキャストに、出させていただきました。皆さんのおかげです。今後ともよろしくお願いします。Yeah, that's it.
All right, perfect. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for taking the time to listen to this episode of the Shoegazing podcast. I can mention that I purchased a pair of new old stock old and split-toe derbies from the 1970s when I visited Super 8 Shoes for this interview. A really lovely old pair. You can read and see more of these on the blog if you're interested. The podcast will be back in a while. That time we will talk leather sourcing with Rob James of the British leather wholesaler Euroleathers. So hear you again soon.